This started life as a Sportster frame, and a local customer brought it in for us to hardtail. We added 6 inches of length rearward in the hardtail. It's a 6-inch stretch, 3-inch drop hardtail. We also added 4 inches in the backbone with a 40-degree rake. This baby's going to end up on the drag strip. The guy's an amateur drag racer. Just by comparison, this is a stock halo off of an Evo style Sportster. You can see how radical the transformation is from the stock halo to what we ended up with. We wanted to give the rear end some extra gusseting to resist the twisting. He's only going to have about an 80 cubic inch motor in it, so we're not talking pro stock or nitromethane or anything, but we still know he's going to hit the rev limiter, sidestep the clutch, and put hell through the rear end. So we put in a tubular gusset that goes from underneath the seat to a heavy-duty 1-inch by 2-inch cross member that's going to strengthen up both this lower rear fork, tie that into the top rear fork, as well as the bracing that we're getting across from here to here as well as here to here. We also have gusseting here. That's our standard. Everything, all the welds, by the way, are just mostly tacked at this point, or first pass, root pass, as a lot of people call it. This is our standard drop seat hardtail gusseting we use to spread out the attachment point when we do a drop seat hardtail. We've got gusseting here. This is once again standard gusseting. Welds aren't finished there, but this is standard gusseting we do on a drop seat hardtail, as well as these seat gussets we do on every rigid frame we build. That's just kind of standard stuff. Going to the front, I decided to cut here when obviously we goose-necked the neck. We were able to reuse his stock neck so he could keep his numbers and not have to re-register and title and all that stuff. But obviously we goose-necked it, and when I looked it over, I decided to cut here to start the to add the tubing in for the gooseneck. And once again, these welds aren't finished. They need we don't have welding here and here yet, and these welds need a few more passes and some smoothing. When we're done, these welds will look, and it's painted, you won't be able to tell where the old tubing ended and where the new starts. But anyway, back to this point about where I decided to cut. If you look at the stock Sportster frame, it gives us a neat little place to cut. Not only does this thing act as a guide, but I also wanted to keep this horizontal piece to tie these two tubes together, so that once all this structural strength is gone from here up, we still have something that's going to hold these tubes parallel, square, vertical, all those things. Here's a hint I took about where to cut on the backbone. There's actually a natural joint here that the factory has from this formed plate piece to the whole neck gusset piece, which is all one big plate piece that the factory does. And there's a natural break there where they weld that. So back over to the victim frame. That's where I cut and spliced in. I liked how the factory had this wraparound plate gusset, so I just took a piece of tubing and quartered it and made a little partial tube and just ran that on up. When I'm done filling that in and smoothing that, hopefully you won't be able to tell. I'm sure you won't be able to tell that that's not even one piece, other than the way this goes up a little bit. probably smooth down these ugly factory MIG welds. Like I said, we still got some welding to do here. I'm not out of the jig yet, so I've still got some opportunity. I like to weld an inch or two and then let it cool down to keep things from getting drawn or too hot or pulled out of shape or whatever. So you're kind of seeing me with my pants down here a little bit, with the welds not as pretty as they will be when the frame's done. Obviously the gusset's not even welded at the top. This piece here we can talk about, going back to the stock frame. This started life as this. The seat rails came in here, and what I did is I just cut down here and got rid of this. But I maintained this plate piece here. A lot of guys like to go ahead and grind that all off. I don't, because number one, that's a shit ton of work. Number two, if you just leave it on there and weld it down tight, it's just another point where you got some strength, some needed strength, especially since this thing's going to end up on the drag strip. So back over to our frame. And this is not completely done, but basically I just ground it down to where it was even with the frame, and right now I've just done one pass to nail it down, hold it in place until I can get it out of the jig and do a little bit prettier welds on it. Maybe grind it a little smoother. In my mind, it's just a spot where we can just leave some strength that the factory put in there. We can just leave it in there. I don't see any reason to do all the work to remove something that just adds strength at this point. Back up at the neck, we've got a 1/4 inch plate gusset that ties in this gusset that ties these two together, which ties these two to this gusset, to the neck, to our wraparound piece I mentioned before. By the way, the factory uses, this is 1 5/8 OD 1/8 inch wall, which is a pretty significantly strong, so that's what I used with my stretch piece. We're noticing that more and more customers, when they bring in their frames for us to hardtail and install the hardtail, we notice that more and more guys are wanting us to just go ahead and do the neck, rake and stretch the neck, or just rake the neck at the same time. So we are going to be offering this as a service from now on, especially the gooseneck design that gives us a lot of flexibility on the rake and the stretch. So feel free, next time you're ready to order a hardtail or have one installed by us, feel free to ask us to quote your neck, rake, and stretch. Thanks for watching, guys.